Hi guys, welcome back to Welding with Mr. Sapanik. Today's lesson is going to be showing you guys, number one, where the electrodes are, number two, how to identify them, and number three, where to find the refills. So typically, this area here is where you're going to have all of your electrodes. Now, if you look here, there are multiple boxes of electrodes, and these boxes are not all the same. For instance, this top right-hand box has a 7018 3/32 electrode in here. The one underneath of it, this is a 7014 electrode, okay? Number two, these are two different electrodes just to begin with. This is a little more difficult to read because it's a little bit older. So you're gonna have two rods here. This is your 6010 electrode, and there's actually a couple of different rods in there. This one here is also 6010, but this is what's called a 5P plus, so more like a pipeliner 6010 electrode. This top box here has your 6013 electrodes in it, which is what the rotators are starting with first. And then this last one down here has your 7018, these are called Millennium arcs, 7018 1/8" electrodes. These are pretty good rods, mainly used for concentrator projects and also for your certification tests. Now, in selecting these, one of the reasons that we have all of these boxes out here is because students go and grab the incorrect box and bring it out here, and then we have to go through these rods before we open another box. So I'm going to show you guys how to determine what box you're grabbing and what size electrode. So for instance, if we get right down here nice and close, this is our 6013 electrode box. You can see how it says that right there. And up here in the top right corner on this particular box, it says 1/8 of an inch. If I were to pull this one out and stand it up, right here, it's going to show this is our 6010 electrode, and our size is 1/8 of an inch. So this is a Lincoln brand, this is a Hobart brand. If I were to pull this one up, this is also going to be a little bit different. 6010 rods here. This is our 7018-1, and this is 1/8 of an inch electrode in size. So now let's say that we run out of these rods. They don't just magically appear. We have to go into our storage room and we have to select the correct electrodes. So let's take a walk over there and I'll show you guys exactly where those are at. So you're gonna go out through the hallway here. And our storage room is directly next to our welding room. It even says welding storage right up there. So all you have to do, go into our storage room here. Let's turn the light on. It is pretty packed. We do have a lot of extra welders and wire feeders in here. But behind these welders, you can see on all of the shelves how there are different electrodes. So it can be confusing when you get in here to try and find that. But for the most part, if you take a look, almost everything in here is labeled for the rods that are there. Sometimes students come in, they move things around, and you know, stuff like that happens. But let's start over here in the corner, okay? This right here is where our 6013 electrodes are going to be. This is labeled 1/8 inch 6013. And when you go into here, sometimes you might have different size electrodes in here, but for the most part, these are 1/8 inch 6013 rods. Now this is the same as the Hobart, just a different brand, okay? There's actually a couple of Hobarts over there. Down here is a bunch of different types of electrodes. So this one in particular is a 6010 3/32 rod. There's some other ones down here. I see a Sure-Weld 6010 1/8 of an inch rod over there. And then this one is actually, let's see where this one is. Probably on the other side here. Yep. So this is 3/32. This is a 7014 electrode. So this isn't even supposed to be in this pile over here, but that's where it's at. So we'll have to move that at some other point. If we look on the shelf over here, these are all of our flux core and our MIG wires. And down here, it's very difficult to see, but back here in the back corner, there's our 7018. And we also have down here some additional 7018 rods. So this is going to be where you go to grab the specific rod that you're using. We have TIG rods over here, which is mainly for the 11th and 12th graders. And that's where everything is.